محمد نبينا بنور هدينا محمد نبينا بنور هدينا.
President Muhammadu Buhari says the federal government is committed to the welfare of Nigerian pilgrims during the Hajj, especially in the areas of health and security. The president stated this when he received briefings on the preparations for the 2018 Hajj from the Minister for State, Foreign Affairs, Hajia Khadija Bukar Abba Ibrahim, and NAHCON Chairman Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar at the State House, Abuja. The president was told that Nigeria has an approval of 95,000 seats for pilgrims as well as the 5% VAT introduced by Saudi Arabia. NAHCON Chairman Barrister Abdullahi Mukhtar sheds more light on the brief.
And we have briefed him adequately on all the arrangements put in place to ensure the success of the 2018 Hajj operation. Mr. President is quite pleased to know that Nigeria is among the first 6 nations to be invited by the Saudi government for consideration of the 2018 Hajj.
President Buhari expressed concern over the challenges being faced by intending Umrah pilgrims to capture their biometrics, which the Saudi government introduced and made compulsory for anybody entering the kingdom. He said Nigeria is not against the policy but is worried about the hardship caused to Nigerians by the companies contracted to execute the job here in Nigeria. The president then assured Nigerian pilgrims of government readiness to address the challenges militating against a hitch-free Hajj and Umrah. The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, has been advised to set up its efforts on awareness creation for Nigerian pilgrims. The Chairman House Committee on Foreign Affairs, Honorable Nnanna Elendu Ukeje, gave the advice when NAHCON officials appeared before the Joint Committee of the Senate and House of Representatives on Foreign Affairs to clarify some aspects of its 2018 budget.
I think that you people must start an enlightenment drive about all these issues so that intending pilgrims are aware, one, of the renewed taxation system in the kingdom, the cost deductions as far as repeat pilgrims are concerned, the expectations in the kingdom, and so on and so forth.
While answering some questions from the legislators, particularly on how NAHCON made savings to purchase their new headquarters, NAHCON Commissioner for Policy, Personnel Management and Finance, Alhaji Yusuf Adebayo, says the Commission used its budget judiciously and also enhanced its IGR.
We were able to raise some money from our savings, from our Hajj budget over the years. We now wrote to the government, we identified property that NAHCON want to sell, among the properties from the debtors. We wrote to government, we added this 500 million with our savings to purchase this property in the central area, Abuja. So we are able to sum up the savings we have, plus this 500 million, and we wrote a memo to BVP to give us a certificate of objections, and it was taken to further executive council. Approval was given that we should use that saving to purchase the property, since we are in a rented apartment.
The Joint Committee asked NAHCON to submit a comprehensive budget document to the legislators. In another development, the Sokoto State Pilgrims Welfare Board has commenced Pilgrims Enlightenment Campaign, focusing on the newly introduced online Hajj registration and the biometric system introduced by Saudi Arabia, among other preparations for the 2018 Hajj. A statement by the board's media assistant Umar Farouk says officials of the board are visiting all local government areas of the state to ensure that the campaign reach its target and to also seek the support of stakeholders at the local government level on the need to enlighten intending pilgrims to pay their Hajj deposits in good time.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, urges all intending pilgrims from all states of the Federation to start installment payments of at least 300,000 naira monthly for this year's Hajj from November 2017 to March 2018.
The payments and registration should be made at respective state Muslim pilgrims welfare offices nationwide through the NAHCON online registration portal at www.nigeriahajcom.gov.ng free of charge. Therefore, no fee is required for any form for the 2018 Hajj registration at all, nor by the pilgrims registration officers of the state's board.
Payments could be made by bank draft or online platforms of the state pilgrims welfare offices, and receipt must be collected there and then. No cash payment to any person.
All intending pilgrims traveling through states Muslim pilgrims welfare agencies, boards, commissions, and those traveling using tour operators must note that the 2018 Hajj calendar requires that by March ending, all payments must have been concluded in Nigeria to finalize preparations against the May 2018 deadline for the closure of Saudi Hajj portal.
This message is from the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, is now deploying the use of information communication technology, ICT, in its operations in order to enhance efficiency in service delivery. This process began in 2016 when the Commission went into partnership with the Pakistani Hajj Mission, working in concert with the Pakistani Information Technology Bureau, PITB. The ICT unit of NAHCON developed a computer-based multifaceted solution for pilgrims registration, flight arrangement, complaints, and health management systems, among others. The launching of NAHCON's Hajj Guide application is an offshoot of this partnership. The application contains important information about Hajj and its rights, among other things. This makes it easy for pilgrims to access information on different aspects of Hajj rights.
It is in both English and Hausa so far. It's our hope that it will be translated to other Nigerian languages. And if we get the chance and the time, other apps could be introduced that could help the pilgrim to learn about the Hajj at its own leisure time.
With the application now available, intending pilgrims like Muhammad Muazu are taking advantage of the opportunity to educate themselves about Hajj. Muhammad Muazu says the application is comprehensive and that he now knows and understands many things about the Hajj.
I now know what to do in Miqat. I now know what to do in Arafat. I now know what to do in Jamra.
Muhammad advises NAHCON to make the application available in many Nigerian languages for the benefit of pilgrims. Apart from the Hajj Guide application, NAHCON is registering pilgrims online. This is a departure from the past where everything was done manually.
We here at NAHCON were also carrying out an online registration so that each pilgrim who comes to the state agency and pays whether it is deposit or full payment, that pilgrim is supposed to be registered on our online system so that we can monitor, see the progress of the registration. Then also at the same time have a database, a record of whoever is traveling to Saudi Arabia for pilgrimage. And you can keep that record for years to come. So we do this, and then we do the Saudi one also.
That of the Saudi is the e-track system, which requires all information about pilgrims and the services to be provided to them. This, according to the Saudis, is a prelude to the issuance of visas to intending pilgrims.
When a pilgrim applies, visa processing is done online. Before you take your passports, you fill some forms, start going up and down from your city to wherever the consulate or the embassy is. Now all this is not done. You register the pilgrim from your own state on the Saudi portal, call it e-track. When that is complete, from here we enter all the necessary information that the Saudi authorities need to see about the pilgrim. Whether he has accommodation or not, we have to provide the accommodation information, the feeding information, flight information, the mahram information for the ladies who are below 45, and any other information, and also pay it. You have to pay immediately online on the system. We have to complete everything for each pilgrim before the Saudis issue the visa.
Still on the use of ICT for its operations, NAHCON has introduced online complaint management system located in its Mecca office. This system is to be used by pilgrims during the Hajj to lodge complaints, if any, on services rendered to them.
There's a section for non-pilgrims to complain, and there's a section for pilgrims to complain about whatever affects them in the Hajj. The flights, the accommodation, the feeding, illnesses, any maybe mishandling by Saudi security people, whatever aspect of the Hajj, whatever problem, they can send a message on that system. And our center in Mecca and our office in Mecca can see that. And the appropriate officer will be assigned, it will be immediately seen by the appropriate officer.
How does the system works?
If you log in, you can send your complaint. Your ID identification is your passport number or anything. The moment you type, that website will link all what you do with the information that has already been registered. The system has been designed that such a complaint will go to the appropriate officer, and the appropriate officer will take immediate action. If he fails for a certain period, depending upon the nature of the complaint, it will escalate to the next more senior officer, up to the chairman. If after some time somebody does not act, it will come to the chairman's notice that there has been a problem, somebody is lost somewhere and nobody has done anything. You see it and instruct something, so like that. So the system also can accept email. If one cannot go into the site, you send an email. But the easiest thing is to call. We have a call center. It will be there in Mecca. It will work 24/7.
Added to this, NAHCON says it is taking steps to ensure that Nigerian pilgrims are not left out in the biometric system introduced by the Saudi government for the identification of pilgrims. The system is to be used during Hajj and Umrah exercises. The project is aimed at helping the government to fish out individuals with criminal records, as well as to ensure that pilgrims leave the country at the end of Hajj or Umrah.
The issues that are coming as a result of this new policy, because it's not easy. They have only 3 centers for Nigeria that will capture the biometrics, which means for anybody traveling to Saudi now must either go to Kano, Abuja, or Lagos. These are the 3 centers that are earmarked by the Saudi authorities for data capturing, and everybody must go there. So currently now, this is what people are experiencing as far as the issue of Umrah is concerned. When the Hajj Commission, National Hajj Commission, noticed these difficulties, after introducing this new policy by the Saudi authorities, the leadership of the Hajj Commission took it up with the authorities in the Saudi, and the commission lodged a formal complaint regarding this new issue of biometrics capturing. And alhamdulillah, the effort is on. They promise to review.
With this development, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, is leaving no stone unturned in its pilgrims' enlightenment campaigns. The idea is to keep them informed on any initiative undertaken by the Saudi authority.
We know the difficulties those that are going for Umrah are passing through. That is why the Commission is making effort to see how things will be less difficult for the intending pilgrims and those going for the Umrah.
Just as the Commission is recording successes with its electronic medical records EMR as manifested during the 2017 Hajj, achievements are also being recorded in all the aspects of the Hajj that are now being managed electronically. It is the hope of intending pilgrims like Muhammad Muazu that NAHCON will continue to explore opportunities to simplify Hajj operations in Nigeria, particularly through the use of information communication technology, ICT.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, urged all intending pilgrims to seek knowledge on how to perform Hajj and Umrah in order to attain the desired results. To achieve this, NAHCON directs all the pilgrims' welfare boards and agencies as well as tour operators to organize enlightenment programs for all the intending pilgrims from date of payment to commencement of operations. It is your right to be educated on how to perform Hajj and Umrah. For more information, visit guide.nigeriahajcom.gov.ng or send an email to info@nigeriahajcom.gov.ng. This message is brought to you by the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON.
محمد نبينا بنور هدينا اللهم لبيك لبيك.
It is the wish of every Muslim to perform Hajj at least once in their lifetime. However, this will only remain a wish unless Allah permits and creates the opportunity for it to happen. This is why Hajj is referred to as the call of Allah. On Hajj Talk tonight, Imam Muhammad Kabir Adam, who is an Islamic scholar, will provide insights for the understanding of Hajj as the call of Allah. He will also be shedding light on the conditions to be met for any individual so chosen by Allah to perform the Hajj. He begins by explaining the concept Hajj.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His infinite mercy make Hajj to be one of the spiritual act of ibadah which He called upon human beings wherever they are to come to Mecca and perform Hajj. This is there in the Quran when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلِلَّهِ عَلَى النَّاسِ حِجُّ الْبَيْتِ مَنِ اسْتَطَاعَ إِلَيْهِ سَبِيلًا. Allah make it compulsory upon people to come to Hajj whenever they had the means.
Imam Muhammad Kabir then proceeds to talk on the requirements to be met by an individual who sets out to perform the Hajj.
Somebody has to be in his good health. Good health is number one condition. Apart from that, somebody has to obtain certain amount of money which he is going to use to secure his ticket, accommodation. He has the capability. He is physically okay. The road to Hajj is clean. He have what to live for his family, no problem. He can go and come back peacefully, no problem.
He gives clarification on the arrangements that are not supported by the Sharia and the likely consequences of insisting on such arrangements.
With the intention of going there and cause trouble or steal or make any havoc to other pilgrims there, these things is not allowed. It is not allowed because Allah make a provision in the Holy Quran by saying, "Man yurid fihi bi ilhadin bi dhulmin nudhiqhu min adhabin alim." Whoever's intention is for him to cause problem in Hajj, to cause problems to the pilgrims, to bring chaos among the pilgrims, to steal pilgrims' property. This one who went there with this intention, Allah promised to take good care to deal with him.
He also speaks on the different ways an individual can travel for Hajj and the arrangements allowed by the Sharia.
Hajj as an act of ibadah, there are so many ways which person can go through to observe Hajj right. First of all, for somebody who earned the money himself, go and pay the Hajj fare through the approved agencies. His own case is different. And at the same time, somebody who was sponsored by other Samaritan, this one also is allowed.
Imam Muhammad outlines the position of Islam on individuals who travel to Saudi Arabia to engage in other activities such as business or in other activities alongside the Hajj.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لِيَشْهَدُوا مَنَافِعَ لَهُمْ. Apart from Hajj activities, people can render some activities so that they can have benefit out of it. But they have to respect the law of the land. The law of Nigeria has to be respected. The law of the Holy Land has to be respected. So somebody who is going there as medical personnel, he can do his medical work at the same time perform Hajj. Somebody who is going there as guide, he can do his welfare activities or guide activities. At the same time, he can perform Hajj. Others are there to make businesses. Those who are there to make businesses, that businesses also is allowed in Islam because Allah says, لِيَشْهَدُوا مَنَافِعَ لَهُمْ, just for them to receive what will be beneficial to them. So it is allowed according to the Quranic verses. But that business also has to be clean and lawful.
The Imam also explains the position of an individual sponsored by another person to perform the Hajj, but lack the means to make provisions for the welfare of the family while he is away for the holy pilgrimage.
The condition of Hajj is for somebody to have means, istita'a. So if somebody is sponsoring somebody, Islamically, that person who is sponsoring somebody who cannot afford the Hajj fare, but another person come to his aid by sponsoring him, in doing so or by doing so, that person supposed to assist this particular person going for Hajj to give him some certain amount.
He advised intending pilgrims to have the fear of Allah in all they do.
The National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NAHCON, urges all intending pilgrims from all states of the Federation to start installment payments of at least 300,000 naira monthly for this year's Hajj from November 2017 to March 2018.
The payments and registration should be made at respective state Muslim pilgrims welfare offices nationwide through the NAHCON online registration portal at www.nigeriahajcom.gov.ng free of charge. Therefore, no fee is required for any form for the 2018 Hajj registration at all, nor by the pilgrims registration officers of the state's board.
Payments could be made by bank draft or online platforms of the state pilgrims welfare offices, and receipt must be collected there and then. No cash payment to any person.
All intending pilgrims traveling through states Muslim pilgrims welfare agencies, boards, commissions, and those traveling using tour operators must know that the 2018 Hajj calendar requires that by March ending, all payments must have been concluded in Nigeria to finalize preparations against the May 2018 deadline for the closure of Saudi Hajj portal.
This message is from the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria.
والنعمة لك الملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك الملك.